At 3:17 in the morning, Jake Miller received a phone call from a number that didn't exist. There was no caller ID, no name, no location, just one word on the screen: unknown. Jake almost ignored it. He was a 31-year-old overnight security guard living in a small Nevada town, only a few hours away from Area 51. Strange lights in the desert weren't unusual there, but what happened that night was something he could never explain. The phone kept ringing. Finally, Jake answered. Hello? At first, there was nothing, just static. Then he heard breathing. Slow, heavy. Hello? Jake repeated. A man suddenly whispered. Is this Jake Miller? Jake sat up. Yes. Who is this? The voice paused. Then it said something that made Jake's blood run cold. Don't look outside. Jake slowly turned toward his bedroom window. His curtains were open. Beyond the glass was the empty Nevada desert. Moonlight covered the sand. Everything was silent. Who is this? Jake asked again. The voice whispered, Jake, close the curtains. He immediately stood up and pulled them shut. His heart was racing. How do you know my name? The line went quiet. Then the man spoke again. Because you called us. Jake frowned. I never called anyone. Yes, you did. The man paused. Tomorrow. Jake laughed nervously. What are you talking about? Then he heard a loud metallic sound in the distance. Clang. Jake froze. The sound came from outside. The voice on the phone immediately changed. Turn off every light in your house. Jake looked around his bedroom. Why? Just do it. Something about the man's voice made him obey. Jake ran through the house, turning off every light. The television, the kitchen lamp, the hallway light. Then he returned to his bedroom. Darkness surrounded him. Good, the man whispered. Jake held the phone tightly. Now tell me who you are. The voice answered. My name is Daniel. Daniel who? You don't know me. Then why are you calling me? Another long silence. Then Daniel whispered. Because I'm standing outside your house. Jake stopped breathing. He slowly looked toward the front door. The entire house was dark. He couldn't see anything. You're lying, Jake whispered. No. Where are you? Across the road. Jake moved closer to the window. Don't look, Daniel shouted. Jake froze. You told me not to look outside before. Why? Hello? Daniel began breathing heavily. Because they can see you when you look. Jake felt a chill move through his body. Who? The call suddenly filled with static. Then Daniel shouted, Get away from the window. Jake jumped backward. At that exact moment, a bright white light passed across the curtains. The entire room flashed for less than 1 second. Then darkness returned. Jake fell to the floor. Daniel. No answer. Only static. Then Jake heard something moving outside. Slow footsteps. Crunching across the dry desert ground. One step. Then another. Closer. Jake crawled toward the front door and looked at the security camera monitor. At first, the screen showed nothing. Just an empty road. Then the image flickered. For one frame, Jake saw a man standing outside. Tall, thin, wearing a dark military uniform. Jake blinked. The man was gone. Then his phone rang again. The same unknown number. Jake answered immediately. Daniel? No, the voice said. This voice was different. Much deeper. Jake whispered. Who is this? The man said, You need to leave the house. Jake stood up. Why? Because they found the signal. What signal? The man was silent. Then he said, Your phone. Jake stared at the device in his hand. What? The call wasn't sent to you. Jake's heart started pounding. What do you mean? It was sent through you. Suddenly, Jake's phone screen went black. The house lights turned on by themselves. Every single light.
What's happening?
Then the security camera monitor came alive. This time, Jake saw something standing in the middle of the road. It wasn't Daniel. It wasn't human. The figure was completely still. Too tall, too thin, and it was staring directly at his house. Jake dropped the phone. Then Daniel's voice suddenly returned. Jake!
Daniel!
Listen to
Where are
me!
you?
Daniel,
Don't
you have
trust
to
the
destroy the
monitors.
phone. Jake grabbed it. How?
Hello?
Break it.
Is anyone
Burn
there?
it. do anything.
Please, somebody
Jake ran
answer
toward
me!
the kitchen, but before he reached the door, the phone screen turned on again. A new message appeared. Location confirmed. Jake froze. The front door began shaking. Once, twice, 3 times. Then everything stopped. Complete silence. Jake stood in the dark kitchen, holding the phone. Then a final message appeared. Do not open the door. Suddenly, Daniel called again. Jake answered. Daniel?
Please help me.
This
I'm
time,
alone in the desert.
Daniel was crying. I'm sorry. For what? Daniel whispered. I told you they could see you when you looked outside. Jake's face went pale. Then what? Daniel took a deep breath. I forgot to tell you something. Jake listened. They can also see you. The front door slowly creaked open. When they're already inside,
Hello?
the call disconnected. Jake turned around. And standing at the end of the hallway was something holding his phone. But Jake was still holding it in his hand. And then it smiled.